Good Erev Shabbos, Parshas Terumah. First of all, a tremendous thank you to Chaim and Pat Fogel for sponsoring Virtual Kiddush this week in honor of their new move to Balson Avenue. So welcome to our new neighbors. And also in honor of their granddaughter Esther Razel's Bas Mitzvah. May you have Asachia Deshanachas. May she bring you and her parents and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, first and foremost, tremendous nachas. I want to share a beautiful thought on the Parshas Terumah from Rabbi Yaakov Moshe Katz, Shlita of the Mir Yeshiva. He says as follows: the word Terumah, the letters Tuf, Reish, Vav, Mem, He, the Medrash tells us is the same letters as Torah, Tuf, Vav, Reish, He, with a Mem. Torah, Mem. What's Mem? 40. That's the numerical value of Mem. So Terumah, giving, is connected to Torah, Mem. Torah 40. What does that mean? So the Medrash goes on to explain that the real Terumah, the best giving that ever happened, that ever took place, was Hashem giving the Torah to Klal Yisrael. He gave us the Torah in Mem, in 40, with the 40 days that Moshe Rabbeinu went up on Har Sinai to get the Torah. So Terumah, we should realize the greatest gift, the greatest giving was the Torah, which was given to us through Moshe Rabbeinu in 40 days. Interesting medrash. I want to bring down another medrash. There's another medrash that teaches us, we know this from the Torah, that the Aron, which was placed in the Mishkan, the Ark, had on top of it the Kruvim, the two figures, which discussion, whether one was a child, they were both children. The reason why the figures were children is because the Pasuk tells us, Ki nar Yisrael va'ohavehu, that the Jewish people are like youngsters. Now, is youth good? Is it good to be young? People are very into this. They want to stay young. Is it good to be young? The Gemara in Megillah, Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Beis 31a, the Gemara tells us that if a elderly, experienced person tells you to destroy something, and the youth tell you to build, destroy it. You know why? Because when an elder person says destroy something, ultimately it's going to lead to building. There's something constructive that comes out of it. But very often when youthful people who are young and don't have life experience say, let's build, very often that leads to destruction. So the Gemara tells us that youthfulness and inexperience is not good. So why are we like the Kruvim, which are young? What does Hashem love about the young? Is youth good or is it not good? The answer is, youth is good, but not due to one's age. Youth is good due to one's energy, cheshek, interest in growth, interest in developing. We can be 100 years old and be young because we have a cheshek, we have a desire, we have a fire, and a person can be 15 years old and be very old because there's no desire for growth. With these 2 points, we can come out with a beautiful, beautiful message. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us as Klal Yisrael to remain young, to constantly have a cheshek, a growth, to connect to Hashem through His Torah. Why is it important that the Torah was given in 40 days? Because at the end of 40 days, when Moshe came down from Har Sinai, his face was shining. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu looks at Klal Yisrael and he says, look at Moshe Rabbeinu, look what happens after he was formed by Torah in 40 days. Interestingly, a baby inside of a womb is considered formed after 40 days as well. After Moshe dedicating himself for the Torah Mem, for 40 days of Torah, he came down from Har Sinai and we all saw this. And we got this youthful exuberance. Whoa, we need to be part of that. Every single yid. And this is how, probably the only time in history, we all came and said the same thing, Naaseh v'Nishma. There was no machlokas about it. Everybody said the same thing. We will do and we will listen to the word of Hashem. Because we had that drive. And when a few of us have the drive, that connects to others as well. All it takes is a few people to want to connect to Torah. Other people see that. They see what the Torah does to us. And that brings them in. May each of us be zoche. May each of us merit to be like the Kruvim, the images of the young children on top of the Aron, to bring ourselves and ultimately be that role model for others. to keep coming closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu through His Torah. Have a wonderful, fantastic Shabbos.